Unfiltered.
Unshackled.
Uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for mature audiences only.
It's Miguel Fuller.
Holly O'Connor.
And Scotty the Body.
It's the Miguel and Holly Uncensored podcast.
Only on Hot 101.5.
Love to see it.
Yeah, we do. What?
You do love to say it.
Love to see it. Hello. We have a special podcast today. We have our Soulworker Stacy on to do a couple of readings for some Platypus Posse members.
That's exciting.
Gnarly.
Got a lot of emails yesterday from Platypus Posse members
Oh.
that were like, oh my God, I want to be read by Stacy. So I got to respond to everyone and say, I'm sorry. I had to take the first two as they came in.
I think
Yeah.
they figured it out when they didn't end up on the show today.
Right. But I like to give a personalized email back to say thank you for listening and
Look
sending
at
us an
you.
email. I
Oh.
try. I also have to give a shout out. There was a Platypus Posse member when I was at the Publix near the station in St. Pete, and I walked in, and I think she was startled because she saw me, and like I saw this all go down in about a matter of like 2 seconds.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
She saw me, her eyes got big, and then she said, platypus, platypus. And I was like, what? Because like it was like I was
I feel that.
confused because I was like just trying to like get
Like,
in and get
it's
out
like-
real quick.
Somebody
Yes.
just shouts words at you.
Right. And she was just like, platypus, and I was like, what? And she goes, I'm so sorry.
Let me get everything.
Platypus Posse. And I go,
Uh,
oh, it was so
You're like, I
funny.
thought you had a BOGO at Publix today. I didn't know what you were talking about. Okay.
It was so funny. So shout out to Platypus Posse members that we see in public.
Yes.
Real quick story. I've been meaning to tell this on the air on the podcast, but Holly, you know this especially, how I will get certain phrases stuck in my head and then like I'll try to make it happen. Like for the longest time, I tried to
No.
make
Let me say what it was. Miguel, and maybe you have a different one of mine.
Mhm.
Miguel tried to make boot scoot happen. Is that what you were going to say?
Boot
Is that what you were going to say? Bitch, I know you. For the longest ass
What are
time.
you, Brooks and Dunn? Jesus. Boot, scoot, boot.
No,
Boot
he
scoot.
would be like, we're just going to boot scoot over here. And we would be like, what? Why is that? Why are you saying that? That's not a thing. And he'd be like, yeah, I'm going to make it a thing.
Yeah.
And then Miguel, you tried for
I
years.
did.
Ah,
Anytime I could fit in boot scoot.
I think you sometimes every now and then still do it. And ain't nobody saying boot scooting
No.
since Brooks and Dunn circuit like 1996.
that song still
Boot
slaps.
Boogie.
Yeah.
So this happened, and I don't know how it happened, but at the bachelor party in Key West, for one of the nights we were out, I started saying, love to see it.
Oh,
And
God.
so all weekend long in Key West, I kept going, love to see it.
I
Love
don't
to
like
see
it already.
it.
Okay.
And then by the end of the weekend, everyone's like, if you don't shut the fuck up right now with this,
We don't want to fucking see it.
love to see it. And so Abe was there with his bachelor party, but it was separate. And so we didn't like talk a whole lot.
Mhm.
And so when we got home for Thanksgiving, I kept saying, love to see it. Like the first time he like chuckled a little bit just
Yeah.
to amuse me.
Yeah.
By the fourth time, he was like, shut the fuck up.
Well, Miguel,
It
But
sounds so backwards. It sounds
No.
sarcastic.
no, but like, that's already a thing.
I know, but I wanted to
He
make
wants-
it my thing.
Oh, you want that
to be
bigger
my
thing
thing. Right.
to be your thing. So
Right.
like online, when people are like, we love to see it.
Right.
Ah,
Or
just-
like,
ugh.
I love to see it. I usually do that when I'm feeling a little bit sassy or
Mm.
whatever. Like if it's I don't know. Oh, like so like let's say it's like Pete Davidson and Machine Gun Kelly's like underwear ad.
Right.
I'd be like, we love to see it.
yeah.
And but like you've decided that
Oh,
you're
dear.
taking the collective we love to see it and just being like,
it's mine.
love to see it.
Love to see it.
Okay.
So I kept saying
Abe's
that.
over it. Abe's over
He,
it.
oh, he's over it. And then another thing I did, and then we'll get to Stacy and our Platypus Posse members.
What are you
Oh,
what are you pulling out right now?
dang it. I thought I usually keep a pair of sunglasses in my man bag.
Oh.
What I kept doing, because of course it was
There's
a bunch
like some sunglasses back in the little prize area.
is there?
Like
Oh, back
there's
there.
yeah, back there somewhere. There's
Hold on.
definitely some sunglasses back there.
Oh dear.
Hold on, you have to see it.
We love to see it.
Love to see it. Oh god, there's too much stuff.
Oh
Oh
jeez.
man.
Anyway,
All
so we, being a bunch of gays and people are drunk for 5 days in Key West, and of course, drama ensues. And so then you've got to have like these sort of conversations about whatever drama there is. Well, we right before we left, we had just finished watching the morning show.
Oh, so
dear.
good.
And I am obsessed with Jennifer Aniston, Alex Levy in that, and just her her style,
Yes.
Interesting.
what she wears.
Okay, I was like, with her character, it's a very complex.
Oh, she is. Well, I love her character too. Just the but that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about just physically her dress.
Yeah.
And so there's a couple of scenes in the last season of the morning show where she has like those black rimmed glasses off, and when there's like a serious moment, she takes the glasses off and she holds them in her hand, and she's just sort of pointing them. And so there were several moments when we were all drunk, and I'm trying to facilitate. I would be like, because I had my fake glasses on, I would take them off and be like, we need to have a conversation.
Oh my God, you made those moments happen just so you could do that fucking thing. God, every part of your life is like influenced by film.
It really is. It really is. And so the whole weekend, I kept being like, we need to have a conversation.
If I'm there, I'm like, bitch, we don't. You just want to point your glasses at me in dramatic fashion.
Pretty much. So I'll probably wear those tomorrow on the show. All right, let's get to Soulworker Stacy.
Okay.
Stacy, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. So was I related to Jennifer Aniston in a previous life?
Oh my gosh.
Love to see it.
She loves to say it if you were. Mm-hmm.
I love it. Now, before we get to our two Platypus Posse members to sort of help you read them and reconnect with someone they've forgotten as we get a little more serious, what are you feeling right now? The world, the universe, just what's going on? What are you feeling about just the state of everyone?
You know, it's an open-ended question. You know, we can go on for a long time with that, right?
Oh, dear.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, how do you even wrap up the whole world into like one succinct sentence or something? That's too much.
Seriously. I mean, it's insanity right now. And okay, so can we just use the word transition?
Mm-hmm.
It's becoming a whole new year, and look at the numbers. You guys know I'm a numbers person. The numbers are all cool. It's gonna be 2022. I mean, come on, this all new stuff. Happy stuff.
What are twos representative of? Do you know? I don't know.
I was gonna say I always looked at them as a positive beginnings. It's always like some people will say, oh, the twin souls and twin flame things, and like it's a doubling up, and the 1111s are another one of those things.
I love me some 1111s.
Make a wish.
Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta make a wish, but yeah, those twos are always really positive. At least in my experiences, twos are very, 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 very positive.
Okay.
And how are you doing just as a human being?
Yeah, how are you? Are you all right? Are you hanging in?
You know, it's y'all know how I roll. It's smiles and butterflies and rainbows, and everything could be worse. And you know, you make the best of it. Life is good, you guys. Life is good.
Oh.
It's you know, it's good.
Okay.
It can be worse.
It could always be worse. Yeah.
It can always be worse. There's a lot of okay. So can we talk about the strange happenings of life just for a half a second, and how there's no such thing before? I'm not going to go into great detail because other people will like not be thrilled with me for sharing over, you know, things to share about, but coincidences do not exist.
I've always said there's no such thing as coincidence.
No, because things happen for certain reasons to bring certain people into your life for certain benefits, and it's just bizarre. So I'm going to say.
Interesting. That's a good thing to, I feel like when you say stuff like that, I tend to like write it down, and just when something comes up and I'm like, that's what it meant. Because right now it's just like a phrase you throw out and you're like, what does that mean? And then you'll experience something that'll be like, that makes sense.
Because there's no such thing as coincidences. I mean, we've had a plumbing issue in our house for the whole month of like October. And we met up with the plumbers, and now they're like super duper close with us. And it's almost like uncanny, like they've always belonged in our lives kind of thing. You just never know what events are going to bring you to what people for what reasons. So you always have to keep an open mind. And that goes back to the 2022s. It's a positivity, new transitions, new happenings. There's all this new beginnings. I mean, come on, Miguel, look at the next year for you and what you're endeavoring as far as your relationship is concerned. And, you know, just there's a lot of changes coming up, especially for you guys in the future for positive gains.
Yeah, bring that positive energy. We need that.
Yeah,
Let it rain.
It's some good stuff. All right. And the other thing too, and Miguel, you and I chatted for a brief second yesterday about today. There is a male soul all over me about this session today. So I'm so excited to see who we're going to talk to because it's driving me insane.
This is true. Literally, Stacy and I had lunch yesterday, and as we were leaving, she was like, there has been a guy next to me, around me, dealing with whoever we're talking with. So just for full disclosure, I have not communicated outside of asking for their phone number.
Did you already know who we were going to talk to when you had lunch?
I had literally, when I left the station, Kelly and Teresa had both emailed me first.
Okay.
I think from our YouTube when we do it live. And so I had said, hey, send me your phone number. And that's it. That's all the communication we've had. So that's all I know.
Cool.
So Kelly, you were the first person to reach out. So we're going to talk to you first. We do have Teresa on the phone. Does that block you at all? We do have Teresa on the phone, but she's on mute, Stacy.
No, everything's good. You guys know how I roll. I mean, if, her people start coming through, I get crisscrossed, then we'll just move people, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. And the other full disclosure, as far as this like male soul is concerned, everyone's like, oh yeah, male soul. No, this is a younger soul. This isn't like someone's grandfather. This may be someone's father who died at a younger age, but it's not like that. This is a protective, it's almost like 30s kind of male soul. It's very strange. It is nagging at me like someone's cousin, someone's brother. So I'm intrigued. I'm so freaking intrigued with this.
I am too.
Well, at this point, this is where we sort of step back and we just let Stacy and Kelly have the floor.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
But don't be nervous. Just pretend that you and I are on the phone and nothing else exists. Please.
Okay. Yeah.
So here's the deal. Quick disclosure. I work solely and strictly through God, with God, and you're always in charge of your own fate and your own destiny. Honey, there's a lot different. Well, okay. So we may not go all the way with the medium. Yeah. Sorry. We're just going to jump in all the way with this. We may not go all the way with the medium stuff as far with you too, because you've got life stuff going on with you as well, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like you're juggling 6 different plates up in the air constantly. First of all, you're good enough. You take my breath away. You're a fighter. You constantly go, do. And very seldom do you stop and reflect on the greatness of who you are. And you need to remember that you really do have so much love and worth to you. And I just want you to start taking some more time out to reflect on that, because you are a force that people need and you give so much to everybody. And I don't even think you realize the impact that you make on others. So please hold that special nugget with you. And this is going to be random, and I apologize profusely, as I don't know if you've heard me talk before, but this is like spiritual charades.
No, I have.
Okay. Yay. Good. Because I don't have to go explaining to this. There's a woman that just decided to come join us. So your grandmother on your mom's side's passed?
Yes.
Okay. She's trying to say hello. How are you? But she's also bringing forward the other people. I'm curious about this, and I'm not trying to go guessing. Let's just get this over with now. You don't have like a brother or any male that passed younger, do you?
No.
I didn't think so, because I have a feeling it belongs to the other lady, and that's why I had to ask and just get that out of the way now. But your grandmother is coming through, and she's apologizing for not being able to spend enough time with you. So does this mean that you didn't get to spend enough time with her, or did she die when you were younger?
We didn't get to spend a lot of time together. No.
Okay, because she's apologizing for this, and she's also extremely proud for the things and the accomplishments that you've done. So do you have 2 different major jobs that you've done in your lifetime, or are you in a middle of a major career and you're going into a different career?
I'm in a career right now that I'm not the happiest in.
Right. There's
So,
changes.
yeah.
You're in charge of your own fate. You're in charge of your own destiny. You'll hear me say it a million times a Sunday, but it's like she's congratulating you on the new changes. Like this is like you're really apprehensive about making these moves, but if you do, it's actually going to be for the positive. And it's like something you need to do. She's like, just rip the Band-Aid off. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Awesome.
Is your mom also passed, if you don't mind me asking?
No. And actually, I hadn't seen my mom due to COVID and her medical issues for like 3 years. And I just had her here for a week. and sent her back to Virginia Beach on Sunday. So for you to tell me about her mom, like, whoo, my heart is fluttering.
Yeah, it's really, really big because your mom sits on you. Like, your mom's not going anywhere for a long time. And sometimes when I feel people like I just did, it's that I don't even think you realize how often you think about your mom. Like, you guys, the connection that this woman has with her mother is intense. And you have to know you're doing everything the right way. And I think that's the other reason why I need to tell you the message too at the beginning of this about your worth and stuff from your grandmother, because of everything that you've had to do and have had to endure recently. Like, she's really trying hard to like lift you up in spirit.
No,
she's very
thankful. Make me cry.
No, it's like that's the best way I can describe it. It's like she's holding you up, like going, "You're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it." Did you also lose a pregnancy? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, a long time ago.
That's okay. I need you to know that soul is letting you know that everything is the way it's supposed to be, and to just go ahead and let with peace within you.
Oh, wow.
Because everything is the way it's supposed to be.
That's amazing.
So do you have any quick questions?
No, not that I can think of right now.
I feel like Kelly's like, wait a minute.
You just put the rug, the chair, the house out from under me. I need a minute to collect myself.
Let myself up off the floor.
Sorry, y'all.
No, that's fine. You feel what you feel.
Kelly, did you come into the session hoping to have a question answered or hoping to speak to it? And I know this is not usually how it works because we've had, Stacy on with us before and we sort of know how she operates. But I feel like even though we all say to ourselves, no expectations, is there something that you wanted to hopefully cover?
I kind of hope that my dad might step up and step in.
Did your dad pass at a younger age?
He was in his 70s. So it was a couple years ago.
Were you okay? Can I ask you real quick? And I have a feeling this is the guy. Was he really young at heart, like a goofball?
Oh gosh, yes.
Like as if he never got past 27.
No, he wasn't like that.
Yeah. No. Okay. I'm really curious about who this other guy is. As far as your dad's concerned, you didn't get to say goodbye to him properly because he's apologizing for not being able to say goodbye to you.
Yeah, we took him to the hospital, and,
and
he passed away in the hospital. I got a call at 5 a.m. So yeah, we didn't get to say goodbye.
He fell asleep. He didn't suffer at all. Please know that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what happened.
Has that something that's been heavy on your heart, Kelly, that he suffered?
Well, he had COPD, was on oxygen, and I lived with my mom and dad. And that night I had my grandson with me. And my brother came over and we were just like, Dad, you're not doing well. You have to go to the hospital.
He refused. Oh, he
didn't want to go. He was so adamant about it.
Yeah. And
he went and he passed away that night. Oh. And I just, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Okay. And the other thing too, and I'm just going to I can't help myself. So your brother's named after him, or is your
yes. Oh my God.
Yeah. What? Yeah, because he's like the names. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
So this is just validation for you, baby.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Kelly, hopefully we've given you, I feel like you're like, okay, I need to just
that's a lot.
Get myself together.
Like if you've never sat for a reading before, like it's almost too much to just take in all at once and even separate it. Like you're gonna think about all the different parts of this for the next week or two.
Which is
I have, but the reading was never like this. I have before. So Stacy, I'm gonna be all up in your grill. It's all gravy, baby. Come on, bring you.
Oh my God.
I love it. And it's such a blessing that you get to have this recorded so you can go back. Like I always say, I wish I would have had a recording that first time that I talked to Stacy, because I was just like, there was so much that it comes at you so quickly.
I know.
That's so great. Kelly, thank you for letting us have a little peek inside of your connection with your family members that have passed.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much. I'm so happy to be part of the platypus posse. I'm so happy. I love you guys.
Absolutely. We
No,
love
we
you.
love you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Kelly.
Kelly.
Happy
Wow.
holidays.
Thank you, Stacy.
Of course, it was a privilege. Thank you.
Woo.
Oh, every now and then those little
Intense.
nuggets, they get me.
It's like the key fits right in the lock, and then
Right.
whoop, the
Bam.
whole door opens
Bam.
up.
Holy moly.
All right, let's get one more in. We have another Platypus Posse member on the phone, Teresa. And like we did with Kelly, this is for Stacy and Teresa to connect.
Yes. Hi, you guys. I love you guys.
Hello.
We love you too, by the way.
Hi, Soulworker Stacy. I've heard a lot of your calls, and I've always, I've always wanted to. I've always had it in the back of my head, but until I was listening to the podcast, and Miguel was like, "We're gonna do two," so I was like, "Okay." I'm up for it.
I was going to say, you've gone through it. You've had a lot of loss. You've had a lot. And I'm just going to jump into this, please. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I get to sound really stupid, and that's cool. I'm down to sound stupid. So okay. Did you lose a cousin that was a male on your dad's side?
Not recently.
I don't think of recent. Okay, so this is the one thing I want you guys to all know, and through podcast, everything. People sometimes seem to think, oh, the last 2 years. No. You have to think whole life.
Whole life.
Even if you're not super close to somebody, that doesn't mean that they're not connected to you, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it may be an uncle.
Okay, did he pass younger, and was this quick? Because he keeps showing me like he passed quick. Like this was sudden. Like this wasn't supposed to be the way it was. Oh, Miguel, we found him.
Yeah.
Okay. Was this on your dad's side, or was this on your mom's side? This was on your dad's side. Is your dad still alive?
No.
I didn't think so, because your dad needs you to know he's with, like, they're together. He helped your dad pass.
Okay.
Okay, and your dad. So I'm intrigued with this, with the thing with your father, because your dad takes responsibility for his death. Like, he's sorry he left. He's sorry he left. He's sorry he left. How did he pass? Because he's just showing me like he blacked out.
He was intoxicated with carbon monoxide.
Okay.
That would have been quick.
Oh.
Yeah, sincerely. And he's like, how did he get the carbon monoxide poisoning, if you don't mind me asking?
It was actually in Marietta, Georgia, Miguel.
Yeah, I know that area.
But my mom and dad actually were intoxicated by carbon monoxide inside their garage. So the house is in Atlanta. They're 2 stories. The garage is downstairs, and the house is upstairs. And my dad left the car on, and
that's why he was taking responsibility. Okay, thank you.
Oh,
okay. Thank you. Because it's like, it doesn't feel like suicide. He's just literally like, it was an accident.
Yes.
Okay.
That's so hard. That's so hard, Teresa.
How old was your father when he passed, if you don't mind me asking?
42.
We found him. I found him. Okay. Oh, thank you. And so here's the deal. This is a big deal. You were one of his most favorite people. And he's like, I never got to tell you enough. I never got to say it enough. I never got to say I love you enough. It's almost like he held his words close to him, and he's apologizing to you for not showing it more.
Yeah. That's him.
Okay.
Yeah. And
this man has been with me since yesterday.
I was his favorite person.
You were his, because you were him, but you were him like times 10. It was almost like, she is the new and improved me. Everything that I wish I could be, she is who I want to be. Like, you got him. You understood him. He could look at you and you knew what he was thinking and feeling. And that meant everything to him. So do you wear your mom's sweaters, or did you make a blanket, or does she have who made the blanket, or who has the blanket of your mom?
My son.
Okay. This means everything to her, and you need to know that she actually literally wraps herself around you guys.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So do
Oh
you
my
have a
God.
Christmas ornament for her, or okay, I need to know the Christmas thing because this is a big deal, and I'm not trying to get all sappy on you guys, but this is like a legit thing. Did you take her ornaments, or do you have specific ornaments selectively for her that's on your tree right now?
No, I don't have anything.
Oh,
Over the years, they just started. Like I said, I was 19 when they passed. I'm now 37. So over the years,
your baby, like she was there when you had your babies. She was
my baby was born the day on their 17th anniversary that they passed. That was the day that my son was born.
She was there.
Yeah, I could have. I just the way with my late. I had delivered my son March 12, and that day was their 17th year anniversary, and I had prayed to God because they told me you're doing March, and I said, as long as it's not on the 12th.
Oh,
and that's the day that I delivered my son.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just need you to know that you are not alone ever. But she's showing me a specific Christmas ornament. I don't know if you have like a gingerbread or if it was your son's. I don't know. But she's making a big deal out of the Christmas ornament.
Okay.
So maybe you hold on to that for me because this is overwhelming sometimes. And it's you know what I'm saying? Or if you have like a charm, but it's literally, she's showing me a gingerbread man.
A gingerbread man.
So can you hold on to that for me, please?
I will hold on to it. And
as you think about it, Teresa, I remember one of the readings I had with Stacy, she kept saying that there was 2 brothers and a sister. And I was like, nobody in my family has 3 kids that were like grew up together that way. And she was like, I don't know why, but something's coming through. And then it happened to be that my cousin who committed suicide, when I lived in Denver, he grew up with his brother Tyrone and my other cousin Shari. And the 3 of them were like 2 brothers and a sister. Wow. And so sometimes it takes a minute for it, because it took a minute, because I was like, girl, you wrong. I don't know what you're talking about. And then I was like, oh my God, it clicked. So sometimes it takes a minute for it to all come through.
Yes, but I don't know if you have a specific like gingerbread ornament that was your son's, or if there's like a gold necklace with like a little gingerbread charm. I don't know. She just keeps showing me a hanging gingerbread man, and it's your son.
Okay.
Well, hang on to that.
So, do you have any questions?
I will hang on to that. No, you blown my breath away and made me feel really good. I think I really needed this for years and years, you know. And I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I will hold on to the gingerbread.
Thank you.
Keep it in the back of my head.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Teresa, thank you so much. We are sending you so much love.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys. I love you guys so much. I'm with you guys every day for the past couple of years. So
thank you.
I love you guys.
We love you. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Bye.
Well, dang, Stacy.
I mean, you're knocking out of the damn park.
You just ripping through them today, girl. Just good Lord.
Man, I need to sit down with you again. Every time we do this, I'm like, I gotta go talk to Stacy. We talk about it all the freaking time, and we both are so busy. But anyway.
Yeah. And you know, I do parties. Everyone asks about this. Yeah, I do parties. I do parties, and those are fun.
Does it get confusing when you do parties? It seems like it would be a party. Like there's a mix and mingle of everybody's people.
Surprisingly enough, no, because sometimes I do it one-on-ones, or we'll do like a whole group session.
Okay.
And my favorites are like families who've like lost like a mom or a dad. That sounded awful. Please don't take it that way. But like when you can get the siblings together and then they just all come together at the same time. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah,
so.
I bet that's really impactful.
And I think in a way, like when you say, because you deal with the dead, it's sort of like when you talk to someone who works in like a coroner's office or at a funeral home, where it's like, they love their work, and it sounds morbid, but it's because of the peace that they bring to families. in knowing that they're making sure that their loved ones are properly taken care of.
Yeah.
And so it's like you love it, but it's because you love to give people that peace and that and you could hear it in their voices. They both felt like, oh my God, these are the answers that I've been looking for all these years.
Right.
Oh, I struggle with this. I mean, I know I've talked to each of you personally about the struggles that I go through with what this is, and being able to feel someone's death and being able to know when someone's going to pass. I struggle. And at the same time, sharing that kind of information with somebody and them being able to make the proper goodbyes and be able to have the proper closure. And then also at the other end of the spectrum, being able to feel birth and life. And I mean, it's a mixed bag, and I love it. And it's a gift. It's just, and there's nothing I take for granted by any means with this. I'm so humbled by it, and it means everything to me to be able to help out people.
When you feel, because I'm not going to share any details about anything, and I'm sure you wouldn't either, but recently you felt a death within the year, and then you told this person, and then this person's adult child, I'm assuming, came to you and thanked you for letting their parent know that death was sort of imminent. Now, obviously that was heavy for you.
Oh yeah.
What does it feel like to know that someone may be on that threshold? And like, I think the biggest thing most people would ask is like, what kind of timeline are we talking about? Like, are we talking about, I mean, we're all going to die eventually, but like, how do you know? What does it come to you as?
That's a really good question. So it's something that let's use this specific person that we are talking about.
Yeah.
I had spoken to them in August, and it was so strange because I kept picturing, like, I kept feeling her as if she'd already passed. And I mean, I felt like I was communicating with her spirit and her voice at the same time.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, well, that's not good. And I've noticed, because I always tell everybody, pay attention to patterns. And in the past, when I have felt it like that, I've noticed, okay, there's someone who's going to be passing soon. And that's the way it is. I mean, there's just this heavy, like, I can feel them connected in heaven. The only other time, and this is going to sound really weird and morbid, when people are on anesthesia, I can feel it like that.
You mean it feels like death?
Like they're dead. It's really cool. Like, even my own kids, I'm like, okay, well, that's different. Yeah, when they're on anesthesia, it's the strangest thing in the entire world, because they're sleeping and they're disconnected from here.
Yeah.
Anywho, but when I had felt it to her, and it was the strangest thing, because this woman was in good health. She wasn't old or elderly. And I said to her, I was like, so this is going to sound really weird, and I apologize. Please, please, please forgive me. I'm not God, and I tell it to everybody, because I never try to do God's work like that. Yeah. But I'm concerned about, and I specifically said what I was concerned about, and you just need to watch this. And so you'll hear, and anybody who's had a session with me I will say the same thing to them. Just keep an eye out for, and that's usually what happens.
Oh.
And
how did she take it?
She thanked me profusely. She was like, well, I've had so many sessions with her in the past. So because I said it to her, she took it to heart.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not God. I could be completely wrong. I just don't see you here for Christmas, and I need you to make sure you have your stuff taken care of. And she called her daughter and told her daughter what the session had said. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm the biggest asshole. I mean, this hurts. Like, it bothers me profusely, but I have to say it. It's part of the job, and I take it with the utmost respect, but I have to say it sometimes. And sure enough, the daughter had contacted me this last week and said, so I cannot thank you enough, because you were able to let her do everything she needed to do. And they didn't expect it. She actually, and she passed from COVID.
Oh,
wow.
Jeez.
Yeah. And so you saw her in August, and then.
No, this was all through the phone. This woman lives up north.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay. So you spoke, I'm sorry. You spoke to her in August.
Yeah.
And then it was November that she passed?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Well, I mean, I don't know what else. And this is why I wanted to bring you on, because I know, like, we did the spooky stuff for Halloween, and that's sort of like, get in the spirit. But I do feel like, and I feel it, especially just personally, because my mom is going through it now, with my grandmother and her mom, and she felt it during Thanksgiving. And I thought, my mom said that several times on Thanksgiving when I talked to her, is that it just feels weird. My mom's not here. It's the first Thanksgiving. And so I think this time of year for people, when we're all like, Christmas, it's so great, it's beautiful.
There's a whole underside.
Right. There are a lot of people
Oh,
who
yeah.
are dreading this time of year because of ones that they've lost. And so I thought this would be cool to help people maybe reconnect and to maybe bring some peace to them during the holidays. So maybe they don't look at the next couple of weeks as this like horrible time of missing someone, when they can maybe get a little peace from talking with Stacy. So I think that you provided that for our 2 Platypus Posse members. So thank you, Stacy.
I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate, hey, y'all, this has been a great year with you guys. I can't thank you all enough. So thank you.
Absolutely. And how can people get into contact with you if they're like, all right, I got to do it. I've been listening for months now. I wanted to connect with someone from my past before the holidays get here. How can people get into contact with you, Stacy?
Well, if you're sitting on it and you're waiting for it, you're doing yourself a disjustice. You're prolonging something that could be helping you immensely. Contact me, soulworkerstacyrenee.com, and I'm also on Facebook and Instagram.
Stacy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. God bless, and have an amazing holiday season and a happy new year and all of that other fun stuff. So thank you.
Absolutely. You too. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks. Bye.
Scott, how do you feel? I feel like if you watch the YouTube video, you've seen Scott go through so many different emotions.
Yeah.
I wish we had better cameras in here so I could get the screenshots of Scott's face as like a big O in the
like a bomb
just,
was dropped, or like a light bulb just blazed to life.
what's been going through your head?
It's just because I feel like I do connect with a lot of the people that are very skeptical, because it's so
And
much
that's
to wrap
okay.
around. Yeah, and I've been like this from the very beginning. And as we've talked to Stacy more and more, I started to open up more and more. And like I said, like my aunt's a medium. And when that all started, I was like, this is just wild. No. But again, I mean, there's been little things here and there. And every time there's a little nugget, it kind of just makes my mind go, whoa! Because I think the hardest thing, and I always am so interested to hear how people are going to react when they hear that news, and we just had our fan members on, and that reaction when it's tears, but it's tears of comfort. And it's a wild feeling, because that's kind of that scary road. It's like, that's what you want. And that's, because I haven't personally had to sit down with Stacy just to talk about me.
Yeah.
And it's back and forth, but I do want that comfort. I want to know, but I'm also like, it's like you almost want to know so bad that you hope it's right, and you hope it's true, and you hope it's real.
You have like an expectation of what you'd like it to be.
Yeah.
Like in your head, you're like, here's in a perfect world, this is my highest aspiration for what could happen. And if it's anything other than that, it's going to feel like maybe this is a disappointment, or maybe I'm not prepared for what actually is going to be said. So I get the trepidation. It's a scary, it's letting yourself go into the unknown, and it's scary.
And it's literally just letting yourself be as vulnerable as possible to be like, this is my deepest hurt, and I'm willing to be comforted right now from something that I have no idea if it really exists. And so whenever Stacy drops a nugget, that's my mind going, oh, snap. Like, there is something here that is bigger than I could ever imagine. And I've been much more open to that over the past couple of years. And it's just like when she named like the blanket and the name.
I know.
And I was like, well, like, because again, like I listen for cues. Like there's a couple things that it's like, okay, like that sounds very common and like it may be widespread that could hit a lot of people. But when you say, oh yeah, by the way, is your your
brother's
son's
named after your dad?
Like that's not that common no more. Like it's just not. Or like, oh, the blanket. Like, oh snap, a blanket. And it was just exact. Like you hear the reaction from the fan member that's like, yes, that. And you're like, how did you just? And it's really cool to see. And my brain it wants to just dive right in and accept it. It's just wild to see this. And it's almost kind of like I just want more people to just be more open-minded, because I've been more open-minded, but people around me haven't. And so it's very hard when things happen like me and I have realizations, and it brings me comfort to like, continue to like move forward.
Mm-hmm.
But then you see other people struggling. And you're like, I know. And I had a whole conversation with my girlfriend the other day because she had a friend that was going through a very tough time. And she was like, I just don't understand how you guys have done it. Like, I don't understand how you live with that much hurt. And it's at the end of the day, luckily, because like she said, there's no coincidences. Like these conversations help immensely. Like these are those moments where it's like, yeah, it hurts, but you gotta find a way to find comfort in the hurt. It's those things where it's like for me, I've never went another day without thinking that my mom wasn't just with me. Like that's just my reality now.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't feel alone. I know that she's always there and I know that she's always watching. And so that little bit of comfort is still there for me to be like, look, like I know you got my back. Like let's go ahead and go forward in life. And I'm not going to stop my tracks because I know you're still there, just in another being.
That's right.
And so those conversations it brings that more forward and it makes it more comfortable for me and a lot of other people that are dealing with that deep hurt or deep loss, or anything else that's happening in their life.
Do you think you're going to have a reading with Stacy anytime soon?
So I'm actually like, yeah, like I'm supposed to have lunch with her like in a couple hours.
Hey!
Oh!
Damn!
Just to
Way to
chat.
drop a bomb, bitch.
Well,
like what?
We'll just to chat. Well, okay. Well,
everybody calm down.
as we're just having that conversation, though, I started to get scared because I like just talking to Stacy in general. We've never done a reading. Like we've hung and talked.
Yeah.
But like we're going to like a restaurant now. I started to get scared. I'm like, man, like I want to be open and everything, but I'm scared that if she drops some nuggets, I'm gonna be in the middle of a public restaurant. I'll be tearing up in my soup. Like
I think Holly and I are gonna be. We got to find out where y'all going to lunch. And Holly and I are gonna be sitting in a booth
We're gonna sit there with the menus
with
and
a
be
menu,
like,
just be like,
let's go.
so I am interacting because again, there is no expectation. This is just hanging out. If there's anything that gets brought up, like again, I'm open for it. I'm here for it.
well, you will have to tell her. I mean, like
Yeah.
when I have lunch with her, like I've actually only had 2 actual readings with her, and the other times it's just like, oh, hey girl, what's going on in your life?
Yeah.
That's about it. So
Yeah.
she will say, do you want this?
Right. She now just gonna drop bombs
Yeah.
on you without your
Well, yeah.
consent.
Right.
But that's the
Like-
thing, though. It's like I want it. It's just
Yeah.
again, like I said earlier, it's just it is scary. It's intimidating to be like, oh my God, what am I gonna hear? Because it's like
Mm.
I want to hear so bad, and whoo, what will it bring? I
know.
don't know. And that conversation is the only way to find out.
Wow. Well, if you want to spy on Scott to see what's going to happen, what's your social media?
Oh my gosh, at Scott Tavlin, SCOTTTAVLIN.
Miss Holly O'Connor.
Radio Holly on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram.
Mine is Miguel Fuller everywhere. Please leave us a rating. We would really appreciate it if you want to do a 5-star Spotify.
If you don't get the fuck out.
Exactly.
I'm just-
Go
I don't know.
fuck off.
I don't know.
See, this is what happens when I start watching the show Succession whenever it comes back.
Yeah.
Then I start saying, fuck off.
Okay.
Oh God,
Sorry, I love
so
that show.
aggressive. It's so
Okay.
mean.
All right. We will see you all on Friday. Bye, girl.